Standing practice, let's just shake out a little bit. We're going to start to do our movement through shaking out, shake it out, and then taking any little movement you can, remembering that if you need the chair, one hand is on your chair. We're just coming back and forth, back and forth. Beautiful. And then let's get it, shake it out again, and then we'll do some movement here. We can either have both hands on the chair or both hands off the chair. We're going to raise the arms up and then come down and up and down and up and down and up and down. And remember, you can have one hand on the chair as you do this, and you don't even need to be bending your knees. You can just be swinging your arms. We're creating some heat here. So whether you're standing straight up and just raising an arm up, it's fantastic. All right, and let's shake that out now. Beautiful. All right, so now turning towards our chair, let's take a walk back into our downward dog. And remembering when we come into our downward dog, we have to get our bodies the way that they need to feel supported. So maybe you're pedaling out here, you're shifting hips side to side, and just kind of moving into a downward dog. And then when you're ready, you can bend your knees, send your hips back to the back of the room, lengthening out, breathing. And then we'll start to move up. We'll start to come up and we'll step up and let's shake it out a little bit. And then we're going to add on today, we've been doing the pedaling, but today we're going to do a little bit of something different. So we're going to come up on tiptoes on both and raise one arm up and then come back and down and then come on tiptoes again and raise the opposite arm up and come on down. And we'll do that a few times. Just one arm going up. Then I'm going to offer a modification. If you want to try it with both hands up coming to tiptoes, try that. That's a big balance. Maybe you need to go slower. Maybe you need to go slower. Let's do one more, or you're doing opposite arms again. Excellent. And then when we're finished, let's pedal. And then we're going to play around with balance again. Take this left foot back just slightly. We're going to raise right arm, left leg lifts. And there you go. Now, again, we can play with the balance here by taking that left hand off the chair or just having it slightly over the chair. So you know it's there if you need it. Let's do one more. Beautiful. And let's march it out. So now you know the idea. We're going to take that right foot behind just slight. Left arm lifts and right leg lifts. Maybe the right hand just lifts off the chair. Maybe you bring your hand to your side. This can be super challenging because we're balancing and playing here with our balance. Beautiful. One more. Both hands down. Let's march it out. And then I'm just going to move the chair forward for a moment and have it here because I want to have access to the chair in front of me for a moment. Standing back just slightly, I want you to feel supported that your hands can reach the chair. And then getting your right foot steady, raise your left foot up as much as you can. Take your left arm out to the side. Right arm goes out to the side if it's available, or your chair is right here in front of you. So the left foot's lifted as best you can. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bring the left foot down, arms come down. Raise the left foot back up, arms go up. Or you're doing this with one hand on the chair. Let's do a few more. Anytime we have our arms out, that creates a little bit more imbalance. So see where you can do this and see what you're noticing. Maybe you do one with no hand on the chair, and then you do another with the hand on the chair. Being kind. Let's do one more and bring it down and then march it out. Nice job. These balance challenges that we've been doing a little bit this week. Okay, now we're going to get that left foot steady. Raise the right foot up. Maybe it's up slightly. Arms go out to the side. And then we're going to bring the foot down. Arms come down. Lift. Beautiful. And then again, maybe you're doing one at a time. Maybe you do one with the hand on the chair and one without. Challenging our balance. Let's do one more up and bring it down and shake it out. Excellent. And then let's take ourselves back to our downward dog, walking back, walking back, walking back. And lengthen, taking your feet as wide as feels comfortable for your steady stance. Bend your knees, hips go to the back, lengthen out. Breathe. And then getting yourself, making sure you feel steady. Let that right hand come in. We've done this one before. Let's just shake out through that left arm. And then let's let that left arm go in a circle, letting that shoulder joint have some nice release to it. Gravity really helping us. And then pausing, we're going to bend our knees. And we're going to take that left arm out to the side, raise it up as much as you can. And then slide it on under. And then lifting it up, making sure you have your knees bent here. And then come back through. And then one more time. And then this time, take that left hand, if you can, to the outside of your right knee and look under your right arm. Breathe. And then let's release that. Left hand comes back up to the chair. And then come on up, come back up, and let's shake it out before we take it to the opposite side. So that's kind of like a modified thread the needle pose. And just kind of notice how that shoulder's feeling. A lot of that gravity is really super helpful. So I'll just switch the chair here, and we're going to walk back to our downward dog. When you come back to downward dog, make sure you check in with your feet and feel stable. Bend your knees, send your hips to the back, lengthening. You don't have to lock out your knees. And then that left hand comes in, right arm kind of shakes out. Let gravity really help support this. Kind of go in a circle with the arm, and maybe the opposite direction. And then making sure you have your knees bent, because it will feel really uncomfortable if the knees are not bent to turn. So we want to lift that arm up as much as we can and slide it on under. And lift the arm up as much as you can and slide it under. And lift up. And then this time that right hand comes to the outside of the left knee. And if it's available, you can look under your left arm. Breathing. Release that hand, bring it back up to the chair, and then come on up to standing. And let's shake it out for a little bit. Let's shake it out. Shake out your legs. Excellent. And then let's find a standing stable pose. So looking down at your feet, and then lift up your toes, press them back down. Lift up one heel and then bring it down. Lift up your other heel, bring it down. Look down at your feet again. Do you feel stable with your feet the distance they are apart? Bend your knees. Then stand up nice and tall. Palms come forward if that feels comfortable, or your palms are faced towards your legs. And then let's, for this moment, really get tall in your legs. Lock the knees out for a moment. I want you to notice that sensation that it feels a little tense. And then on an exhale, super soft bend in the knees, and notice the way that that shifts a little bit. And we can stand in a stable mountain pose. Maybe you have your one hand on the chair and noticing how it feels to just stand in not moving, but so much movement happening internally. Your breath, your circulation. Ah, and let's shake it out, shake it out. Nice job. Okay, so we're going to move into a warrior one pose this morning. So let's get that right foot out in front. That left foot will step back. Bending into that right knee, we want to feel safe and supported. So you want to look down, making sure that your foot feels stable. Let's lift the toes on the right, lift the heels on the right, and then let that foot really settle in. With the hand on the chair, lift the left heel and bring it back and down. Now you should feel a lot more stable. We're going to play here again with balance, with taking the hands off the chair or keeping one on. You decide. We're going to lift the arms up, and then we're going to take them to cactus and move forward. Keep that bend in that knee. And then come back to cactus and lift the arms up. Arms come down to cactus. We're going to move forward. Come back to cactus and lift the arms up. You could be doing this with one hand. So we're coming forward with cactus, one arm, and then coming back and lifting up. Or you're doing it with both arms. You have to decide what feels okay for you. One more time, we'll come forward and then come up. Now take your right hand or both hands to your hip. Take the bend out of your knee. Don't lock it out though. Have that nice soft bend in it. And then getting nice and tall, either both hands on your hips or one hand on your chair. Come forward slightly. If it's in your practice to let your head come down farther below your heart, go ahead and do that. It's not necessary. If you're feeling a lot of tension in this knee, go ahead and bend it. And then come on back up by bending into that right knee to feel supported. And then step up and shake it out. Fantastic. We're going to take it to the opposite side. So our challenges sometimes are to use the chair when we're standing or find a challenge when we're not, but it is always about safety, right? We always have to be kind to ourselves. So we want to get that left knee bent, lift the toes, bring them down, lift the heel, bring it down. You should feel a little bit more rooted in that foot. And then lift the heel on the right, bring it back and down. And just check in with your torso. Is it a little bit more forward? That will feel more comfortable in your hips. All right, so now you know where we're headed. We're going to lift both arms up or one, right? So you know. Then to cactus and to come forward. And then coming back up and lifting the arms up. We're really focusing on keeping that leg steady and not letting that knee move this way, right? We want to keep that knee tracking towards that little side toe. So you're either doing this with two hands, two arms, or you're doing it with one. Or maybe you've done a few with both and you're deciding that you need to now take the one hand down to support you. Check in with how you're feeling. We'll do one more. Let's come on up, lift the arm up, come down. Now, hands to your hips or one hand, bend comes out. You don't lock it out. It's a nice soft bend. Getting tall, let's start to lean forward. Lean forward. You might start to feel that in your hamstring and you'll stay right where that sensation starts. If you know that you can move farther down, go ahead and do that. Again, not necessary. If it starts to be too much in the hamstring, please bend the knee. Feel safe. Listen to your body. But to come out, we want to bend that knee to help us come up and feel supported. And then let's step up and let's shake it out a little bit. Excellent. So for our last pose, we're going to do a balance. That will require both arms off the chair or one hand on the chair. All right, so we're going to get steady. I want you to get steady with that right leg. Raise the left knee up as much as you can. One hand's on the chair for now. Left arm goes out to the side. And just pause and just play here. Notice how you're feeling. Might have to resituate on your right leg. Maybe the left foot needs to come down a little bit. We're just going to pause here for a moment before we do any movement. All right, noticing how it feels. Your body's aware of this now. Let's take it down, shake it out. Then we're going to start to do a little movement. You'll get that right leg steady again. The left knee is going to come up, and we're going to take the left arm out in front, and then we're going to take it out to the side and bring it back in. If you want, you can keep that right arm out and take it in and do this with your balance. It's not necessary. You can be doing it just with that left. Excellent. The next time that we're out, where can you pause? Where can you play around with your balance? Maybe the hand, maybe you're just tapping the hand with your, or the chair with your right hand. That's your balance enough. Notice how shaky your right leg is getting. All right, when it's too shaky, we want to bring it all in and let's shake it out. Let's march it out. Shake out your legs. Oh, the balancing, the challenge of balancing. All right, we're going to just practice it first before we do any movements. Let's get steady on that left leg. Raise the right foot up as much as you can. Maybe that's it right here. And just take that arm out to the side. And then maybe tap the chair with your left hand just to remind yourself it's there, it's safe. Excellent. Bring it down. Let's march it out and then we'll start the movement. All right, so steady left. Right comes up and then we're going to take it out and we're going to take it in. Out and in, out and in. If you want to try both, that's great. Not necessary. I really have to focus with this one, so notice where you are. Okay, we're focusing. And then when we start to get that too much effort, what do we need to do? We need to pause and come out of it. And then if you can, pause for one moment where that hand is on the chair and you're tapping it or holding it. And then bring it in and shake it out. Let's take a downward dog before we come out of our standing practice and come to sitting. So let's walk it back. It's going to feel really nice as you're shifting your hips side to side, and then bending your knees deeply. Hips go to the back, lengthen out. Feel that from your fingers through to your shoulders to your hips, and then your hips to your heels. Deep breath, big exhale. Excellent. And then let's start to lift up. Let's start to come up. Let's start to step up and shake it out a little bit. And then let's come and find our chair so we can come down to our sitting. Make sure you have your block handy. We'll use that for our fold. So coming here with your block can be in front, or you don't like to use your block at all. Just find your way. Sitting up nice and tall, reach up through your arms, lengthen up. And as you exhale, we're moving forward, forearms to your knees. And then get yourself settled here with your feet. Maybe lift the toes, bring them down. And then decide, are you moving into a fold all the way? If you have untreated high blood pressure, vertigo, eye pressure projects, you know that will stay elevated. If that's not a project in your body, maybe you use the block to just lengthen out, or you come all the way down to a fold. Find what's working for you. And let's land into a fold and breathe. Let's just do 2 more breaths. And then coming back, we'll take one hand to one knee, one hand to the other, and press up to halfway. And then come on all the way back and up. You can move that block out of the way and let's shake it out a little bit. Excellent. And then taking that right knee up, hug it in. Maybe we want to draw the forehead down towards the knee today and just notice that fold. Big exhale. And then as you lift up through the upper body, taking that left ankle onto the right knee, or sorry, the right ankle onto the left knee, any amount you can, and then shifting side to side. We want to start to be aware of what's happening in this back hip. If this is too much, you know we can modify it by bringing the foot here. So find what's working for you. And once you're settled here, get that left foot settled. Sitting up nice and tall, we start to just move forward. When you arrive to that sensation back here in that back hip, we pause. Take a big deep inhale and then exhale. Another inhale and another exhale. And then we'll just start to really arrive into this fold. This pose at the end of our practice is more about that idea of letting the pose hold us. The stableness of our pose, the stableness of our chair. Every exhale you're taking, noticing what's happening in your hip, readjusting any movement, coming out of the pose if you need to, being kind to yourself. And then slow and steady, let's move up out of the pose. And then possibly you slide that right knee over the left, move the left foot in a little bit for that stability, or you're just crossing ankles. Find what's working for you. And then we'll just take a twist over here towards the right. Again, we're not pressing, we're not pushing into the pose, we're just letting the twist be. And then coming back around out of our twist, let's shake it out a little bit. Take the left knee in now, rolling out through your ankle, and then possibly drawing the knee in towards your body, maybe forehead coming down to meet it. And then maybe this side, the ankle is okay to come up on the right knee. And maybe this side it's not. Finding your way. Maybe it's here, maybe you just have your foot here. Finding what works. And then taking some movement, checking into the sensations that you're feeling. And then when you're ready, nice long spine, come forward, right to where you feel the sensation. And then let your body settle. Every exhale you take, maybe you could give yourself permission to release any gripping that's happening in the back hip. The exhale helping support softening. Again, we're here. The chair is stable. Our foot is stable on the ground. That stability supporting our nervous system and our bodies. And then we'll move out of that pose just like we did on the other side. We'll lift up, and then if it's available, left knee sliding over right. Make sure you walk that right foot in just so you can feel a little bit more symmetry here. And then we'll take the twist over towards the left. And then coming around, unraveling our twist, shift your knees a little side to side. And then I'll come a little bit more forward to do our last pose of our practice, our Shavasana pose. So getting yourself situated, letting your hands be exactly where they need to be for you. Rolling your shoulders up around your ears, taking a big deep inhale, and then exhale, letting your shoulders drop back and down, the chair supporting you in the back, your feet on the floor, and then eyes soft gaze or closed. Let's come back to where we were in the beginning of practice to noticing our breath. Start to bring awareness to the way that you're inhaling and exhaling. And see if you can notice the qualities of your breathing this morning of evenness and smoothness. Even breath, meaning the inhale and the exhale feel pretty even, and the breath feels nice and smooth. Your inhales and exhales, smooth and even. No pausing at the top of your inhale, no pausing at the bottom of the exhale. And then with your awareness, draw awareness up to the crown of your head. As you exhale, let the exhale come down through your body, maybe softening through your shoulders a little bit more, your feet getting heavier on the floor. Let's do that again. Inhale, crown. Exhale, down through your body, shoulders heavy, legs heavy, chair really supporting you. Draw your awareness to your abdomen. Notice the way your breath is moving in and out. You can notice the rise and fall of the abdominal area when you breathe. And then start to deepen your breath. Take a big, deep inhale. Exhale out, maybe a sigh. And then let's start to move your fingers, move your toes a little bit. Starting to bring some movement back into the body so we can move off of our chairs and out of our practice. And then starting to bring your arms out to the side, let the palms be face up, lift your arms up. Gathering your arms up and then bringing them down. Maybe hands come together at heart center or you let them rest over your heart. You choose what feels okay there. And finding gratitude where we can this right now in the now for each other, for ourselves, best we can. And then letting our kindness light start to rise up inside of us. The light of our compassionate light. And sending it out to one another in the beautiful word that yoga gives us. Namaste. Namaste, everyone. Thank you for practicing with me today. Have a great rest of your day.